Guys, Kev here, and I have a disassembly video to do for you. So this is the new Kizer Towser K, and this is the new one in Ultim or Pay. And I want to take it apart because it has a little bit of detent. I should say a lot of it. I don't know if you can see how far it moves, but let's see. See that? I don't know if we can fix that, but we're gonna see what's going on in here. And yeah, let's get to it. So we're gonna have a T8, I think. Yep, T8. Oh, that was quick. Nice. I like Kizer because they have figured out how to put a pivot in without it automatically loosening. But it's easy to get out, you know? That's always nice. I hate when it's like impossible to remove, and then I hate when it's like loosening on me out of the box. So there's a balance, and they've struck that pretty well. So that was easy right there. We can take this off, take this off. We have multi-rows in here. Those are nice bearings. This is exactly what you would find in a CKF Evo 2 or something like that. And let's take a look at this detent and see if there's anything going on here. So there's a little bit of a nick. I don't know if you can see that nick right there. Don't know if that could be playing a part here. Let's clean all this up. Obviously, if you guys do this at home, put some blue tape on the edge here. You don't want to just be pressing your thumb on it like an idiot, but I'm pretty much all calloused up from knife stuff here. So that's not really got anything in there. That wasn't English, but hey, that's not really got. You can see that nick. I really don't think that could attribute to that much detent lash, but it's possible. There's a lot of things that can contribute to this. I mean, it could be usually it's the detent hole being too big, or the detent ball not seating right. But it could also be the stop pins not, contacting properly. It's contacting too early or something. Lots of reasons. The detent's good, so I don't really want to mess with that. Maybe I can give you a visual here on what this lash be looking like. So we'll slot this one in. It looks like this one, the D shape goes through, right? We took this screw out, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. So bearing. Okay. Blade, bearing. I'm going to have to lube this up before I put it back together, but let's see here. Close the knife, and now it should stay in this position, right? It shouldn't be moving around. No, maybe it's not. Let's see. Maybe that was just an assembly thing, but I doubt it. But once I get this all tightened down, it'll be back. So far, so good. Could have just been assembly. Let me zoom you guys back out here. Careful there. Don't want to over tighten these bad boys. Okay, we're back together, and it is almost gone. Just flick it once. Just get it back to, reset it. Moment of truth. Yeah, it's essentially gone now. I mean, when I can't feel it like that, that's a good thing. So, I'm going to take this back apart. And I was thinking, I don't know if you guys want to see skiffs in a Towser K, if that's been done before. But I have a good number of the big multi-rows. So let me show you what that would look like. Hopefully not reset that detent lash. So just for shits and giggles, this is your skiffworkshop.com test fit card. You can get these from skiffworkshop.com. And you can use code LeftyEDC. That'll save you 10% off. But anyway, this is going to be a big boy pivot. So you're going to have a 6mm on here. So you'll see that pivot fits in there, right? But it does not fit in the 5mm. So you know it's 6mm. Then you're going to have 1/16 balls. So this is going to drop in here. Now it's a very fat bearing, so it doesn't actually go all the way through, but you can see the balls fit through, and they will not fit through this one, which is the next one up. So we have 1/16 6mm bearings, and these happen to be multi-row. It's the one thing you can't tell with the test fit card is if they're multi-row or something like that. And I'll show you the difference here for anybody who doesn't know. You could technically put these in there if you wanted to. But you would be losing a good number of balls. And there we go. So these are 6mm 1/16. They're actually the same size pivot and same size ball as these and those, okay? But you'll see these two are multi-row, where this one's single row. So if you were in a pinch, if you really wanted skiffs and you just didn't have multi-rows, you could use these, right? Now it would be a smaller fit in there, but it would work, I think. Shouldn't be an issue. Now I have had some times with Kizer where things don't necessarily work well, but I think those were all related to the missing link bearing, which is the 3/64 ball that we didn't know existed. Now you're going to ask me, what's the point in upgrading to skiffs on these? Because you probably have the same number of balls, right? Essentially, these, I feel like these companies all copied Skiff once Skiff made these multi-rows, but I could be wrong. Could be Skiff made these after the Evo, and then that could be it. But you have 18 balls over here, and I believe you have 18 balls over here because it looks like every position where there's a ball here, there's a ball there. So I'm thinking 18 across the board. Now, what you are getting is a solid cage. And this is where it's possible these won't fit for some stupid reason. Even though the balls are identical, sometimes they just don't fit. People always say I'm crazy because I say, you know, they're too thick over here. I don't know. It just happens sometimes, even though it shouldn't make sense because the ball is what the thickness is all about. But we'll see. So we're going to put these in our Towser. I'm going to grab some KPL Heavy. Now, hopefully we don't have the return of the detent lash because I put a little oil here. That might have been the issue. There had too much oil or something build up in there. But hopefully we got it all out or did whatever we needed to. Then we take a little bit of KPL Original and we rub our bearings in it on both sides. That's how I do it. But anyway, you're going to get a solid cage, which means you're going to have more stability, right? You're going to have that stronger cage. I can flex this cage. You're not flexing this cage, right? So to me, just get a little better stability. It's not like some world changer when it comes to these type of bearings because they're the same ball count and everything. Usually with skiffs, you end up getting a good number of balls extra. And that's a huge benefit, but in this case, that's not happening. So anyway, enough rambling about that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can't get this bad boy back together. We missing any parts? You see any parts missing? I don't. T8. Tighten that down mostly. And we'll grab our T6. We'll come over here. We'll grab this guy at the end first. We'll grab this guy down here. Then we'll tighten everything up. So that's tight. You can see the thickness in there, but I do think the stock bearings, you could see them too. That's part of the design with this, I think. Check for that lash. Please be gone. Yep, still gone. Still pops out of there. No side to side, no up and down, no play, and you have beautiful action. Now, this knife, we all know, comes with fantastic action. So you're not really gonna make it better, honestly, in the action department. So if that's what you're here for, you know, I wouldn't think about it that way. This is something you can do when you get skiffs, is just kind of open and close it. Usually the most resistance when you get skiffs, the hardest break-in is from here to your nail. And you'll see just that little bit I did is almost got it dropping now. So you could just sit there and do that a few times. Just work those skiffs, you know. Or you could just carry the knife and that'll do it as well. Looks like we are centered as well. So let me check. Take it out. This is like how I like to do it. Take it out. I put it back in. Tighten it down. Pretty centered. No lash. Pops. Great action. So now what we do is take it off again. You guys know the routine by now. We try to keep this down, but it's going to want to pop off that scale a little bit. Then we clean our pivot screw. It should be pretty gunked up on this one just because it's black coated, but I've been wrong lately. They've been pretty clean from factory, so we'll see. And a little bit of schmutz there. Then I always take a T6 like this, and I'll jam that in there with the cloth and see what we get out of there. Some schmutzeroni. And then just to be absolutely anal about it, I will test one more time. Tighten till tight. Fires. Butter. Now, one thing you got to know when you use super glue like I do is that it's always going to I feel like it always gets a little tighter than you think it's going to get, because you're adding something in there, I guess. You're adding compression or however you're going to put that. So you could try to soften it up. I try to just tighten till tight. Check for play. And then check action. Looks like I won that battle. We still have a little bit of that lash, but it is not bad. Compared to how it came out of the box, I'm impressed right now, actually. I'm feeling a little bit of something moving around, though. I don't know if it's the clip. Checking that centering. You see it yourself there. It looks pretty damn good. Kizer's doing a great job, man. There's that screw for the clip. Now, you can bust this screw up one. It actually, if you see here, has 3 slots. 1, 2, 3. So you can go really deep if you want. I prefer this setting right here. Now, I could flip this over to lefty carry, actually. And we can see what that looks like if you like. I really like these OEMs. They're starting to use Ultim more, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it's popular in the community. It's a pretty good way you can look at things is when something becomes popular here in the U.S. in the community. When you see people like Tactile or Koenig or whatever using something, give it about 18 months, right? 12 to 18 months, and you'll start seeing it pour out of China. Fat Carbon was that way. Ultim is now that way. You're gonna see the trends, right? Button locks, you know, the Malibu came out a year, 18 months. Now we're at like 2 or 3 years after that, and they're just everywhere. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb I like to look at for when you start to see things coming out of China. And you can see if you haven't noticed these dark areas right here, that's not like imperfection or anything. That's oil. So there's actually some oil between the ultim and the liner. So if you wanted to be anal about this, you could take the knife down, take it off the liners, and clean all that up. And then just go light on your oil when you put it back together. I personally don't care, and I think we made this knife better. We got rid of the detent lash. We added Skiff bearings. And we flipped it over to Lefty. And now this thing's really nice. I wasn't that sold on it to begin with because that detent lash was just like really pissing me off. So it kind of killed the whole knife for me. But now, I mean, uh-oh. She's back. Yeah, she's back now. Damn it. Just after I freaking... Can I get into that detent? It's got to be that detent hole. Let me see if I can get in there from here. Let me in your hole. I was a little worried about putting that... yeah, see? Now it's gone again. It's got to have something to do with that. With putting any lubrication into the detent hole. It adds that lash. So let me just... Got a little bit of canned air here. Let's just see if we can't kill it. There we go. Hopefully that blew it out. I can deal with a little bit, you know, not the end of the world for me. But when I can do this and feel it bouncing, that's when it's a problem. And it keeps going from not doing that to doing that. So we're just going to have to see how this breaks in. Hopefully it breaks in. Detent lash, unfortunately, is one of those things that normally does not get better. It gets worse. But it's possible with some buildup in there, it'll maybe get better. We'll see. Right now, it's acceptable. The one good thing on a knife like this with detent lash is its studs. And when you have thumb studs, it's really hard to notice detent lash. You have to be trying. Like now it's back again. This is really annoying. It's not as bad as original, but yeah, maybe it is. Just keeps coming back for more, that little bastard. And I glued it, so we're not taking it apart again. It's like yeah, see now, no rattle. It comes and goes. It's interesting. So hopefully it just like breaks in and eventually goes for good. I don't know what else to do though. I really like the knife otherwise. And now it's essentially gone. Interesting. Okay. I'll just keep carrying it. And, you know, you can see where I blew that shit out. Try to keep that out of there. Now it's back. Now it's back. Now it's terrible. What is the deal? Let's softly close it, see what happens. Interesting. Soft close, there's less. If I slam it, there's more. Let's try that again. Soft. I don't know. Very annoying. So this is the kind of thing that kills a knife for me personally. You know, I'll sit here, I'll just dick with this for the rest of my life. Now it's gone, you know. Some of you guys, you won't even notice, nor will you care. And like I was saying, with studs, you don't notice because you're not like sitting there going, out and in, out and in. Even if you push up a little bit, you're not pushing it out, back, you're just going up. So unless you have like a hole where you're kind of messing with the, you know, in and out, or a flipper tab, which is where you really notice detent lash, then it's not as bad when you have studs. So that's one good thing here, but the fact that it's coming and going is very annoying. So anyway, there is a disassembly and bearing swap on the Towser K from Kizer. Obviously, if you bought one and you had this issue, you'd be able to return it, get a new one, or, you know, whatever dealer you got it from, or them. So I don't think it's that big of a deal in that sense. I could just have a one-off here. But it is worth noting because this is my, you know, it's my job to tell you guys the truth, at least in my opinion it is. And that really bothers me, if you can't tell. So anyway, I might do a video on the next one, which is a Kizer sheepdog button lock that also has a massive amount of detent lash. The only thing with this one is I really don't like it because of this area right here. When you thumb flick it, your thumb goes right into this corner and it's extremely uncomfortable. So you have to either flick from down here or flick outwards. And I don't want to have to like figure out what I need to do. A reverse flick is fine, but a thumb flick, ow, it just smacks into that. And then on top of that, I have the lash, and it just seems to be a theme right now. None right there. Now it's back. This is so weird. Now I do wonder if it could be the stop pin, because I don't know if the detent could really be causing that to come and go. That seems very odd to me. Man, it is so snappy though. Right? It's great action. Man, I really like this. I just want that to go away. Don't know, adding any detent pressure, I don't think that would help. And I don't want to, it's really strong already. Don't really want to mess with it too much. Maybe just clearing that out consistently. Just keep doing that. Or I could just forget about it, because I'm going to, you know, review this and then I'm going to pass it around. So, not a big deal. But I do really like it. So, I'm torn, obviously. All right. I love you guys. All the information is down in the description. You can pick up any of the stuff you see here, the Disassembly Tools. All of it is linked down below. It does help the channel if you buy it. Some of it doesn't. It's just I want you guys to see it all. Thanks to Skiff Made Blades, Skiff Workshop, for providing the bearings for the videos. It's very kind to them. What else? Thank you to Kizer for sending me these knives to check out. Really appreciate that. Like I said, they'll go through my pass around, and then they'll probably get given away to you guys or sold on a discount, or you know, given to a neighbor or something like that. So I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.